And to Conor McGregor to say, well, let him fight this Friday, let him fight that Friday, but only in boxing. Because, he's a good athlete, Conor McGregor, but he's not a boxer. He's a mixed martial arts guy. So I'm saying, okay, let's test it out. Terence Crawford will do McGregor in the octagon, and then 3 months later they can do it in the boxing ring.
So the octagon would be first?
The octagon would be first, because I don't want them to think that we're playing around. Let the octagon be first, because Terence Crawford is a really tough dude who has a wrestling background. So it's not like a guy who's like Mayweather, who's just a great boxer, and would be lost pretty much in the octagon. Crawford would not be lost in the octagon because he comes from a wrestling background. He is, I think, a world-class wrestler. So let's see. Let them take the challenge. I think it would be massive.
Would you be surprised if Crawford knocks out Conor in an MMA fight?
Yeah, that's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford pins McGregor in an MMA fight. I really mean that. I think Crawford's a better wrestler than McGregor is.
Oh, you got the blueprint for Habib? Put the blueprint out there for y'all to beat him?
Yeah, we got a blueprint. Talk to Bomac. Bomac got it all figured out.
What do you make of Conor wanting to fight Pacquiao? He said
fight Pacquiao. So he's going to go into the fight, and he'll be in the ring, and who wins that fight? Pacquiao wins, right? Okay, so is that fair? No. Floyd could have taken McGregor out in 2 or 3 rounds if he wanted to when they first fought, but he prolonged it to give the people their money's worth. So, all right, let's test this out. But you got to fight the guy on his ground if you expect him to fight him on your ground. And that's what we propose.
How much have you talked to Dana about this?
What?
How much have you talked directly to Dana White about this? How on board is he?
You don't talk to Dana White about it. You let Dana White read about it and hear about it, and then if he's interested, he'll know how to contact us. No, the answer is we haven't talked to him. We have some people who've talked to Dana White, but I haven't.
How disappointing were you that you had to cancel the Ramirez fight because of the Wuhan flu going on in China?
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate, but I'm not going to put the life of these fighters and the crews and everybody else in danger by just to do a fight. And when we called Mission Hills, the great people in Haikou, and told them that we're not going to go, they said quite right, because 50% of their reservations in their hotels, their 10 magnificent hotels, have canceled because the Chinese people aren't traveling. Nobody's traveling. It's just too dangerous.
And what do you make of Pacquiao completing 25 years in boxing just like a couple of days ago?
Well, it's amazing. Manny Pacquiao is amazing. He's been amazing in this sport, and you can't say enough about Pacquiao. The fact that he's gone so many years is, I think, just extraordinary. A scrawny little guy, and he's grown up to be a welterweight. He will go into history as one of the great fighters.
What do you think of Floyd wanting to come back, saying he's going to come back with super boxing, Dana White?
With what?
Floyd says he's going to work with Dana White.
I don't know what Floyd said. When we see it, we can't go, it's this and it's that, and, Floyd is probably retired from boxing.
Bob, what do you think about Michael Conlon? Does he have an opponent for March 17th?
I don't know. I don't know for sure, so I can't say, but ESPN will announce it. I think the guys have an opponent for him, but under our arrangement with ESPN, they're the ones that announce these fights.
Let's get Robert Ferry versus. Do you think we're going to be able to get Crawford and Spence this year, 2020?
Again, Al told me last year that we would get it this year, and then the accident happened. So I don't know whether that accident affects whether they'll fight this year. And we'll see. But I would like to fight this year, but it depends on Spence's health.
So it's going to happen, though, just a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And who do you think is the best boxer, pound for pound, guy that you know?
Well, you can't say they're all different. I mean, it's a silly question, you know. Like they say, who is the best pitcher? Well, some guys like a blazing fastball and they're relievers and you can't hit them. Other guys have curves and they're all different. Who's the best hitter? You can't really tell. Some guys are home run hitters, some guys spray hitters, you know. So who are great pound for pound guys? Well, you have Lomachenko, you have Crawford, you have Spence. What? In a way, yeah. I mean, and maybe the winner of Ramirez and Josh Taylor. I mean, there are a lot of good, competent heavyweight. Then you have the big heavyweights.
So Canelo is not in that list?
Canelo is certainly in that list. Certainly in that list. Canelo is a superb fighter. He's a great attraction, but he has a great record against elite fighters. So certainly when you talk about the best pound for pound fighter, he would have to be considered, no question.
What do you make of Canelo fighting in maybe Japan?
I think that's a great idea. We're going to be discussing that tomorrow. Honda is in town, and I think it would be a great experience for Canelo. Tokyo Dome is an iconic venue. That's where Tyson and Douglas fought, and they would be willing, I think, to do it on a Sunday morning, which would be Saturday night prime time in the United States, and I think Canelo is up for that challenge.
Well, when you going to start doing fights at that new Vegas stadium? I know you drive by it all the time. I know you got some thoughts. What would be the fight to put there to get everybody to come to Vegas on such a big event and fill it up?
I don't know. We have to see. It opens this fall. The Raider people are very good friends of mine. Mark Davis.
That's your guy, right?
Al was my really close friend, and Mark is his son, and a great guy. And he's a big boxing fan. He's going to be at the Wilder Fury fight. So we'll see. I'm sure there will be a major event or two in Allegiant Stadium. I'm sure.
I just had Sean Porter and Mark.